1923 on Paramount Plus, available on the Roku channel. Again, Brandon is the one who plays Spencer Dutton right here on the Rich Eisen Show. I just can't get enough of this show. And the thing that really takes me back, Brandon, is that, you know, when it's Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren, I'm thinking they're going to, you know, be the most interesting characters. Yours is the most interesting character on this program.
Oh, man, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. When you first got a script and they're like, guess what, you're not in Montana, what'd you say when you saw that?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little overwhelming, you know, because you're thinking, okay, Harrison Ford, Helen Mirren, I'm going to be on the ranch and kind of continuing where we left off with 83. And then Taylor's like, no, man, you're going to Africa.
Right.
You're like, oh, like Africa. You're like, oh yeah, no, you're going to Kenya, you're going to Africa, you're going to Malta. Yeah, so it was definitely a little intimidating at first, but we settled into it, and I'm just excited to get back to Montana, honestly.
So I guess let's take it one step at a time here, because you did shoot in Africa in this show, right?
Yeah.
Was that your first time in Africa?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And and I'm assuming the animals that you're surrounded by, are they CGI or there's some of them are real?
Some of them, it's a combination of real cats on the day and real elephants on the day, and then stuffies and animatronics, and then CGI. So it's like the movie magic blend of the three of them.
Okay, so you had a meeting with Taylor Sheridan before taking this role? You did?
Not so much a meeting, no. I mean, you do your audition, your tape, and then he flew me to Jackson Hole to test and read with him.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I had met him. And then, in the room, it was kind of, I got the vibe that it was going to go my way.
So 1883 was out at this time, or it was not?
Yeah. 1883 had been fully released and was out. And
now, were you up to speed on the Yellowstone universe by the time you took this?
Yeah. My pops and my mom are huge Yellowstone fans, and I thought 83 was a masterpiece. And
a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Chris, you're currently 7 episodes in.
7 in. I got 3 left.
Yeah,
I got 3 left. It's amazing.
Yeah, Sam Elliott, you just can't.
You can't.
You can't.
I know.
Yeah. Like, what do you even say to that?
I know.
He's incredible.
Exactly. And his character's incredible in that. So you were up to speed on the whole thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, your character, if I'm not mistaken, we've only seen once before 1923, and it was in a flashback.
Yes.
In Yellowstone season 4,
as a really little boy
on horseback. And if I don't want to spoil too much because you're not there yet either.
Not there. It's all right.
You know, you could tell I'm a big nut about this. My wife and I are totally locked in on all this.
Good.
And the beautiful part about it is, you know, like Yellowstone is, for the lack of a better phrase, and I know I'm probably dating myself, it's like a 21st century Dallas.
Yeah.
You know, there's a little bit of a soapy aspect to it, but there's also a real life, current, present day aspect.
Definitely,
to it.
yeah. It's a slightly different tone than 83 and 23.
Well,
sure.
83 and 1923 are essentially about the fragility of humanity.
Yeah.
You know, like that your character basically, you know, coming. So I don't want to keep going too deep here, but I will. Your character is a World War I veteran in 1923, right?
Yeah.
What were you told about Spencer Dutton coming into this whole?
I knew that he was a veteran, and I knew that he was a big game hunter, and I knew that he was sort of coping with his PTSD by chasing danger and putting himself in harm's way, and I kind of almost trying to kill himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's drinking himself to death. He's putting himself in these circumstances because it's the only way he knows how to feel anything. It's the only way he knows how to feel alive and to live. That's all that I knew.
That's it.
I didn't know the journey. I didn't know it was going to be this sort of Homer's Odyssey. I didn't know anything. I think we got the first 2 episodes, and I had no idea.
You mean the first 2 episodes in a script form? Is what you're saying?
Yeah. When I initially read for the role, that's all we got, and then we were 6 weeks into cowboy camp before we got any other episodes.
Right.
So it was the whole cast is kind of learning where this is going as we were getting into pre-production and prepping for to shoot the thing. So we were like fans waiting to know where it was going and what was happening.
Correct. So did you know at the time you would wind up with a love interest at some point in time? Or did you know that going into this thing?
I knew in episode 2 when they met that it was going to be significant, but I had no idea the journey they would go on and the challenges they would face and just sort of this sweeping epic nature of their journey. I had no idea.
Right.
I don't know what's happening next season.
That's what I'm about to say, because, the aspect of your character, we know, again, your brother on the program, who is by the way, Chris, his brother is the young boy you see in 1883.
Got it.
So, so we know your brother eventually is going to have, is going to be part of the lineage of the Kevin Costner character in Yellowstone. We have no idea what's going to happen to you. Like, there's no actual, if I imagine the Yellowstone universe, evidence of you.
No,
having a life or having kids or having anything like that.
There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing. And I don't even know, to be honest with you.
You don't?
No, I don't. And I get asked that question all the time, because everyone's wondering who is the descendant of Kevin's character in Yellowstone, and I don't think anybody knows.
So it could technically still be you, is what you're saying.
Could be.
And only Taylor Sheridan knows.
And I don't even know if he does.
That's what I was about to say.
No, he's a mad genius, man. He just kind of he gets inspired in one way, and the story will shift. And I don't know where that comes from and how he does it, but he's up there in Texas in his cave, and
is he on the 4.6s? Is that where he is?
He's in Weatherford. He's
okay.
Yeah, he's got a spot out there, but yeah, he's just a wildly interesting man.
The man who plays Spencer Dutton, Brandon Sklenar, is here on the Rich Eisen Show Spencer Dutton is right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Paramount Plus is where you can catch the season finale of 1923. So I was going to ask you this question, but I'm going to do it anyway. You're not in any scenes with Harrison Ford at all. Have you met him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you got for me? Come on.
I mean, he's just the coolest. He's the coolest guy.
Can you put more? What meat on the bones you got for me on that when you've met Harrison Ford?
I mean, he just got such a great sense of humor. So dry.
Okay.
Just such a dry wit, that guy, and he's sweet. I mean, when I met him, it was during cowboy camp, and we were in a rodeo arena, doing drills and loping and doing barrel races and stuff, and I was on my horse Spanky was pretty temperamental, and I'd be loping pretty fast, and he would just decide to make a hard right at any given moment. Mm-hmm. And he made one of those hard rights, and as he made that hard right towards the gate of the rodeo arena, this gentleman was walking up kind of slow, and I figured I'd just say hi to him. I didn't know who it was. He had a baseball cap on, and he kind of gets himself up on the fence of the rodeo arena, and he looks up at me, and I was like, oh damn, that's Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, how's it going? Are you one of the Star Wranglers? And I was like, no, I'm an actor. And he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, how are the actors doing? The horses. And I was like, no, I'm an actor. I play Spencer Dutton. And then he kind of did a double take, and he looked at me, and he goes, very cool. Very cool.
And by the way, I don't need to hear any more. It is. It doesn't. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, there doesn't need to be a laugh line. It doesn't need to be. No. Yeah.
He's just. And he's just a nice guy.
So who is he to you? Is he Indiana Jones? Is he Han Solo? Or is he Dr. Richard Kimball? Like who is he to you?
I mean,
Brandon, what is he?
Probably the one thing that I most cling to from my childhood is Indy. Yeah, I mean, we all grew up on those films.
Yeah, all of us.
I mean,
yeah,
that's the strongest thing for me is Indy. I watched those films a dozen times with my grandfather. He was a big Western guy, and we had those on constantly. So there was definitely the first few minutes with him, you just kind of, every scene flashes before your eyes, and you're looking at him, and you kind of have to delete that so you can.
Yeah, he doesn't like snakes. You got to get rid of that.
I hate snakes. He hates.
There you go.
Neither of us snakes guys.
You like that? And you went to cowboy camp together? What do you mean by cowboy camp?
What
does that mean?
You get up every day, and you ride horses for 6-7 hours. And
this is for your role?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. You get up every day, and
for, I guess, eventually when you get to Montana.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You'd be riding lots of horses.
So that's you sign on the dotted line. You're playing Spencer Dutton, and now you got to go to cowboy camp. Is that the way?
Yeah, pretty much immediately. I mean,
does everyone in the Yellowstone universe have to?
Everybody does it. Yeah, everybody's out there for a month every day.
So you were watching like Harrison Ford trying to rope cattle and stuff like that? Is that what you're saying?
You know, Harrison kind of he came in pretty knowledgeable. He came in with his own saddle.
Of course.
You know, he
comes like, BYOS?
Yeah, BYOS.
Wow. Bring your own saddle?
Yeah, he knows what he's doing on a
What a
horse.
flex. What other movies he been? Oh, I mean, he's done everything. By the way, I think he is the most beat up actor of all time. Like his characters have the absolute crap beaten out
That guy's
of
tough
him.
as nails. I mean, it was a negative 15 in Montana, and he's out there on a horse. Never forgets a line. Knows all of his. No, I mean, the guy's just like he's a legend in terms of being a professional,
Yes,
working actor in that sense. I mean, he's an actor first and foremost.
and Helen Mirren as well. I mean, you
just
got two.
just the sweetest, just a sweetheart. Just
Yeah,
just
fantastic.
best.
And again, it's the finale of season 1. Congrats on season 2
Thank
being
you.
picked up. Is there any shot at a season 3 or what? Or,
You know, I think it's gonna be the 16 episodes.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Just we're bookended.
I can't get enough of it. I cannot
That's
get
good, man.
enough of it. It's just as good as 1883. It is just as good as Yellowstone. And it is, I can't wait to see what happens to your character, and what's going on there. And I hope, I hope it winds up good for you, man.
Me too.
Before I let you go, The Offer, you were in The Offer as
I
well
was.
as Burt Reynolds. How does one prepare for Burt Reynolds, Brandon Sklenar?
Well, you grow a decent mustache.
Well, I mean, you got that check.
I think that's step one is grow a mustache.
Yeah.
And then yes, you're watching Smokey and the Bandit. You're watching The Longest Yard.
You are. You're
watching
doing that.
interviews. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you watch Norm Macdonald's imitation of him from
Oh
Saturday
yeah.
Night Live?
Yeah. Turd Ferguson. Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny.
Yeah. So yeah.
You watch Turd Ferguson to
Turd
get ready
Ferguson.
for The Offer?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That was probably my biggest inspiration.
Was Turd
Was Turd Ferguson. Yeah.
That was a great show as well. That was a fantastic
Oh
show, The
yeah.
Offer.
I thought they nailed it. I really did. And Miles was great. I mean, the whole cast is phenomenal.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it was great, and that got completely snubbed. I thought that was an outrage. The Offer was terrific too.
Yeah, when I was on the set, I was thinking this is good.
This is good
This is
spot.
special.
Exactly
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And you must be thinking that right here too, right?
Yeah.
1923.
Yeah, I mean, just reading the first, you know, it's good when you're emotional just reading the pages. You know, we'd get these scripts, and you're on a plane, and you're crying on a plane reading these things, and it's like, well, if I'm getting that from the page, then hopefully when we put this thing together, it'll affect people.
Exactly. No doubt about it, man.
Yeah.
And so congratulations on this. I appreciate you coming in here as well. And I look forward to seeing the second season. Come back to promote that if you don't mind
Love
as
to,
well.
yeah.
I mean, I can't wait for Sunday night, It
Me
is
too.
truly. It is truly. So you're seeing it for the first time on Paramount Plus as well?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because he's real secretive, right? Taylor Sheridan
Yeah.
really secretive?
It's a really unique creative process.
How so? Can you
It
give me a
just
good
in-
idea on that?
No one knows what's happening until you get that script, and he also, by the way, writes first drafts. So it's not where the script changes. Once he sends those scripts out, it's done. It's your Bible. He's not changing anything.
He doesn't.
No, and he's the only writer doing it. So it's just all from his brain to the page. He sends you the script. It's done.
You don't get any rewrites or anything
No,
like that.
nothing.
I mean, the opposite of that, because again, we've been on the air 8 years here, and we talk about this sort of stuff all the time, despite being known as a so-called sports show.
Right.
David Milch would hand Deadwood actors new, like, iambic pentameter type lines, the day of, and you'd have to remember a new, we've had Ian McShane on here and Timothy Oliphant. You'd have to remember, the most profane Shakespearean type prose on the spot. That's not the same way for you. Huh?
No, I mean, and there's no ad-libbing. There's no, so, I mean, everything you see is on the page as it's written. It's word for word as it is. Which as an actor, you couldn't ask for anything better because everything's specific, every line specific, every word is specific. It's such as a play, it's all there for a reason. So there's no changing it. You don't need to change it. You don't need to add anything.
It is kind of, again, there's some times where my wife and I will just look at you and say, how do you think of that? We just don't know where that comes. It is truly amazing.
He's a genius.
He is that. And again, 1923 is genius. I look forward to Sunday night when it airs Sunday exclusively on Paramount Plus. You can catch that again right here on the Roku channel. Brandon Sklenar, thank you for coming here, brother.
Thanks, man.
Congrats on everything going on, and say hi to Harrison for me, will you please? Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.